even though I'm right outside the library, the Wi-Fi is. Oh, okay, we're live.
Okay. So did you read? You read chapter 5 of the?
Yeah. Well, at first I didn't realize that we just had to read chapter 5, so I started reading the whole thing, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so much!" And then I was like, just started like reading people's like analysis on it, and then I went back and read the assignment and just realized it was like the first part of chapter 5. So, yeah, I read the chapter.
Okay, cool. So then, okay. First question is, what details are seen as horrible here, and why might they be seen as horrible? For instance, why might yellow eyes be seen as horrible? I was like kind of surprised by this question. Well, not by the question, but like the fact that he thought it was so horrible, because he was like making this guy the whole time. Like he saw what he looked like, and then as soon as it came to life, it was like all of a sudden this like terrible thing, and like you knew what it looked like. So that was kind of weird. But I don't know what I mean. Yellow eyes, I feel like would just be scary because everyone you see has white eyes, and yellow is just like it's just something that's not normal. So anything I feel like humans see that isn't normal, they like freak out over. You know. So
Yeah, totally. I was thinking, the same thing when I was reading the question. I was like, or kind of like when I was reading from the chapter, and he was like, and he had this and this and this and this, and then he had yellow eyes, and he starts freaking out and just like runs away. And I thought the same thing, like how he was, because he literally made him for like 2 years or whatever, and so he's looking at all these features, and so I think that the reason the yellow eyes like kind of had the biggest effect on him is because were they closed, because it says the guy, he like opened his eyes, and so maybe it was like, they were like these yellow eyes, but it like signified that like this dead thing was alive, and it just like scared him. And so maybe just like more of like the significance of the eyes being like the window of the soul and all that.
Oh yeah, deep. Yeah, no, that's such a good point. Yeah. And I think, I mean, like tying it to like the beauty subject that we've got going on, I feel like, what was I going to say? Like just the fact that it's different, like I feel like it shows that we have like stereotypes of like how people are supposed to look and stuff. And so whenever he looked different, like he opened his eyes and it was different than what he expected, he like got scared of it. When in reality, like the creature could easily be like a really nice thing, but just because he had yellow eyes, like he was scared and like he didn't treat it the same as he would treat like, any regular person.
Yeah, totally. Pretty much read a summary of every single chapter, but like that happens throughout the entire reading. Like he'll show up to like normal people, and he was built to be beautiful by by Frankenstein. And so like his personality actually is like really like kind and like submissive and humble, and he's like this nice dude. But from the way he looks, people freak out and they run away, and it turns him into like a murderer because everybody's like rejecting him. So he just kills like 4 or 5 different people. And
that's so sad.
I know. And so then like Frankenstein spends the rest of the time just trying to like hunt him down and kill him. And but yeah, so like with what you're saying, like even though he was like super nice guy, just because of how he looked, people shunned him. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next question is, talk about why each detail might be important. What things might we have with that? Talk about as many details as you can in the time you have. The rest of the time we're just talking about.
Oh, sorry, you cut out a little bit. But so it says talk about
each detail and how it was important.
What is it? Talk about why each detail. Okay, so each detail of his appearance.
I guess so. Yeah, I'm assuming.
So let's see what details. Oh yeah, what details are seen as horrible, and then. Okay, so we had the yellow eyes. He talked about his skin was taut, which I found out means like stretched super tight over his like body, and so that you could like see all of his muscles and like all of his like organs and stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then he had, let's see, he had black lips and black hair. What else was there? Oh, his eyes were watery. That was kind of gross.
Oh yeah. Well, we didn't talk about how he had black lips or something. Yeah, straight black lips. His shriveled complexion and straight black lips. So that's kind of different.
Yeah.
So his teeth are a pearly white.
Yeah, he's got great teeth.
Yeah.
Props to him. And then once a pale blue skin. I think that's pretty much.
We have to talk about why each detail might be important, but I don't really know, and what associations might have with that detail. So I guess we should break it down.
So let's start with one of them. Let's start with the black lips.
Okay.
So black lips to me, I just think of like dead, like black, crusty, shriveled lips. Just have you? All right, wait, what are you majoring in?
Social work.
Okay, so I started out majoring in exercise science and did anatomy with all like the cadavers and stuff, and like everything's like just it's how it like I think of it. And so just like black shriveled like lips and like
yeah. So maybe it's like been dead, like, which is kind of scary. Like when you see a dead body, it's kind of gross, right? Like you don't really want to be near dead bodies, so it's like thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so maybe that's the lip sync. And then what about like, so he said he had pale blue skin that was like stretched super tight and shriveled.
Yeah. I mean, that's just
what do you think about that?
Another thing that's like different. Like one has blue skin, and then I don't know. I mean, like stretched super tight, but also shriveled is like something that you don't usually see. Like it's just like not very humanistic. I don't know if that's a word, but it's just like not very. So it's just something that like we wouldn't be used to seeing. So like if I saw someone that had black lips and like that, I probably would like be taken back for a second too, because it's not something that we see every day.
Yeah, totally. Just totally like different, like abnormal, like like alien dude. Okay,
I think
sweet.
It's like the black lips is like nowadays, like girls that wear black lipstick, it's like a sign of like I'm bad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that's kind of a scary thing. Like even like for Halloween coming up, for example, it's like people that are like the scary creatures, they wear like black lipstick, you know, like because it just makes them look like dark and scary. So I guess that like that could signify like a dark presence rather than like you know.
Yeah, dark and like evil.
Yeah, evil.
Yeah, totally.
It says his hair was of a lustrous black.
Which kind of sounds nice, right?
Yeah.
Lustrous black flowing hair.
That does sound nice. So I don't know what that would mean. I mean, like obviously it says that he was made to look beautiful, but I don't really know what that would signify, like what that would be associated with.
I was reading, I was reading something like a review or Wikipedia or something where he was talking about how he mentions like a lot of these characteristics first and then ends with the eyes, because the eyes are what ultimately put him over the edge. But he like mentioned some of like the nicer things first, like his pearly white teeth and his flowing black hair, and then it just progressively gets worse. I don't know if he like why. Yeah, maybe he just. Yeah, maybe those are just supposed to be nice things, like pearly white teeth and nice hair. But
those are kind of things that like lure you in. Like whenever you see someone pretty, like you automatically like kind of want to be near them, you know? So I feel like that's like what he was meant to do, is to like lure people in, like be nice and be beautiful, but it didn't happen. I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
That's what's weird about his face. Like I feel like there's good things and there's bad things. So maybe that like goes hand in hand with his personality. Like he's actually a great person, but he's able to turn into a bad person because of, I don't know. It's like there's good in him. Like it's not all evil.
Yeah, I like that actually, because he is like supposed to be a good guy until like something triggers him, and he's like rejected by all these people, and then he like goes to his ugly side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. There's that, and then is that all of?
Last part just said that all the nice things, the luxuriances they're called, only formed a more horrid contrast with his watery eyes that seemed almost of the same color as the dun white sockets in which they were set.
Yeah. So like the 2 or 3 beautiful features that he did have made him like scarier, because it was like they could like recognize those as like nice, but then like see his like water yellow eyes and just like freak out because that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, that's actually so true, because yeah, exactly. It's like he was obviously built super nice, so it's I don't know what I was thinking. I just lost it, but yeah.
Cool.
All throughout chapter 5, it was like every single time he referred to like the thing that he made, he like always had like a horrible word in front of it every single time. But it's like
he put what?
Like a horrible word in front of what he created, like his creation.
Yeah.
Every single time it was like a new horrible word, and it was so sad. But he had no grounds to be scared of him, like at all. There was nothing that the creature did to him at all, except for open his eyes, and like he freaked out.
Yeah. It was like purely appearance.
Yeah.
Like he said, he like reached his hand toward him, and he was like he was gonna get me, but he was just like he couldn't communicate, you know.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, like, Dad," and then Dad didn't like that. But yeah, like it was all just how he looked, and that's how it was for everybody throughout the whole thing. Like they would just look at him, and even though he was like a nice guy, they were freaked out. Just funny, which is kind of true. Like even now, like if you don't, like you were saying, right? Like if you're in your classes or just walking around and you don't think someone's like attractive, like you don't really give them that much time of day.
Yeah.
I think, you know, like there's not that initial draw. We're not like running away screaming at people, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, it kind of reminds me, well, not reminds me, but have you seen Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Okay, you know that like creature animal thing, like how he was like normal, and then they put him in like that dungeon thing just because of how he looked, and then they were like he looked like an animal, so we started to treat him like an animal, and like they gave like for food they just like gave him like a whole dead pig, like not even cooked.
Yeah.
And so he like became that, and I feel like that kind of goes with like Frankenstein, or not Frankenstein, but the creation, because he like was fine, like he could have been like a normal nice guy, and I think at the end of Suicide Squad, like he seemed normal, like he never did anything bad. And so it was just like, he was totally fine.
Yeah, totally. Same thing.
Treated him because he saw him is like why it just got so bad. So
yeah, totally. That's exactly how it worked.
Yeah.
Thing. The only other detail that I see is that he was like 8 feet tall, which is just like he was big, and maybe they're afraid of like he was like strong or something. I don't know. He could like damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
because when you're like you're that huge and you're that tall too, and if someone like if you don't know what someone is and they already look different and like already kind of look scary and they're 8 feet tall on top of that, it's like you don't really want to take your chances because they could easily hurt you if they're that huge.
Yeah, totally. Didn't he say he had like mega strength?
Did he? Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like this huge scary guy.
Yeah.
I really didn't know that his name wasn't Frankenstein.
I forgot that too. I read the book in high school, I remember, and then we like watched the movie on it. And I remember he would like go to like people's houses, and he was like such a sweet, like genuine, just. And then they would just like freak out, and they would just like hurt him, like and throw stuff at him or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it was so sad.
Poor little guy doesn't even have a name.
I know, so sad. And then he just started killing stuff, and it was so unnecessary.
Frank.
So, I don't. That's all we're supposed to talk about, but it's only been like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think I don't know. If we had a normal group of 4 people, we probably could have bounced ideas off for twice as long.
Yeah, that's so true.
Maybe we can just send in like a little comment, like it was just 2 of us.
Okay. Yeah.
Unless I don't really have anything. I think we went over all the details of his appearance. We have some good stuff. We'll tell Susanna to just watch the video. She never responded, did she?
Mm-mm. She doesn't respond. Maybe we'll just have her watch the.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay, sweet. I will